Well, we got the Reliquary Tower, but no treasure hunt. Oh, 2 Reliquary Towers, still no treasure hunts. I mean, I guess if we just... Oh, boy. Oh, dear. All right, we found it. Sort of. We got to put 4 to the bottom. All right. Boom. Dismal Backwater. Please don't Thought Seize us or we scoop. Today's video is brought to you by Card Kingdom, and right now you can get this sweet Scoop Soldier sticker when you order over at cardkingdom.com. Just mention in your order notes that you want a Scoop Soldier sticker when you go to checkout. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Budget Magic, and we are kicking off 2021 right, playing a classic jank archetype in a new format. This is Zombie Hunt for Historic, and there's a few reasons I'm excited to play Zombie Hunt in Historic. One is, Zombie Hunt's just a really cool, really unique deck. Secondly, we've never played it in Historic before. We played like modern builds of it at some points of the path. It's just like such a funny, cheap deck. Third, and maybe most importantly, this deck is really close to free. It has 0 mythics, 0 rares, and it almost doesn't even have any uncommons either. I think it has 6 uncommons. So essentially, on Magic Arena, even if you don't have many wild cards, you should be able to put this deck together, and that's one of the things I love about Zombie Hunt. I would not recommend most people, or actually any people, to have Zombie Hunt be their primary deck for a format. You don't want to have only Zombie Hunt and try to like grind up to mythic or something. On the other hand, I do think pretty much everyone should own Zombie Hunt, should experience Zombie Hunt, because it's just a really unique, fun, funny archetype. So we're going to talk about how Zombie Hunt works in the Historic format, jump into some games, see if it's possible to jank people out with Treasure Hunt and Zombie Infestation. So on one hand, Zombie Hunt's pretty simple. We're doing one simple thing with this deck. We are mulliganing every single hand that we get until we find Treasure Hunt, which thanks to London Mulligans, isn't really that hard anymore. In the past, when we played this deck, like 5 years ago, there was a risk that you would just mulligan, never find Treasure Hunt. With London Mulligans, that doesn't really happen very often. And this deck can mulligan all the way to 1, and that's perfectly fine as long as we end up with a Treasure Hunt in hand. So Treasure Hunt is 2 mana, reveal the top cards of your library until you hit a non-land, and put all the revealed cards in your hand. So remember our deck, the non-land cards in our entire 75 are 4 Treasure Hunts and 2 copies of Zombie Infestation. So the idea of playing this deck is we mulligan if we need to until we find Treasure Hunt. Then we cast Treasure Hunt. That's going to draw us 5, 10, 20 cards, some massive number, because our deck is all lands, and it's going to end with either another Treasure Hunt, which is fine because then we can do it again the next turn, or Zombie Infestation. Zombie Infestation is our finisher. It's 2 mana enchantment that lets us discard 2 cards to make a 2/2. In our deck, because Treasure Hunt can draw us 20 cards at a time, it essentially just lets us make a lethal board of zombies. Like, here's ideal draw for this deck. Let's say our ideal draw is we go turn 1, Island, turn 2, Reliquary Tower, Treasure Hunt, draw 20 cards, let's say, and then with Zombie Infestation. Our next turn, we just play a black source, play Zombie Infestation, pass the turn on our opponent's end step, we discard all the lands we draw, we make 10 2/2 zombies, and just swing in for lethal and close out the game. Easy, simple, and that is what the deck is trying to do every single time. That is it. That's all the deck does. There's not anything more to it than that. Reliquary Tower, though, is really important. Think of Reliquary Tower as our 3rd combo piece. Really, in some sense, we're a 1-card combo deck. The combo is Treasure Hunt in a deck full of lands. But Reliquary Tower is very important because it means we don't have to discard all the cards we draw to Treasure Hunt to our hand size at the end of turn, which would be a risk otherwise. So if we have a Reliquary Tower in our opening hand, we can Treasure Hunt on turn 2. If we don't want to Treasure Hunt without Reliquary Tower, unless we have Zombie Infestation. That's another situation to talk about, but we don't want to Treasure Hunt without Reliquary Tower because we'll just discard everything we do to hand size. So if we don't have a Reliquary Tower in our opening hand, we take and pass turn 2, turn 3 we Treasure Hunt without playing a land, draw a bunch of lands, hopefully one of them is Reliquary Tower that we can play after Treasure Hunt to keep all the cards in hand, and then our card drawing Treasure Hunt is going to end eventually with a Zombie Infestation, which makes all the zombies and wins us the game. So that's the plan of the deck. Otherwise, we have one other land that I think is worth mentioning, which is Mystic Sanctuary. And the problem with Zombie Hunt is we're really dependent on treasure hunt. We mulligan down to 5 or 4 or 3 or even 1 to find it if we need to. So most of the time, our hands are going to be a treasure hunt and some number of lands. That's going to be our opening hands. That means if our opponent could go turn 1 Thoughtseize and take our treasure hunt, odds are we're going to spend the rest of the game just like drawing lands and doing nothing because we only have a handful of treasure hunts and non-land cards in our entire deck. Mystic Sanctuary is our way to get around, discard, and also counter spells on Thoughtseize. So worst case, let's say our opponent turn 1 Thoughtseize is our treasure hunt. Rather than just waiting until we draw another treasure hunt, which could take a really long time, we can also draw Mystic Sanctuary along with some islands and use Mystic Sanctuary to put treasure hunt back on top of our deck and then proceed to combo off and win the game. So it's good protection against Thoughtseizes and counter spells, which are some of the toughest cards for our deck to beat. Otherwise, we got a bunch of lands. Barrenmoor, Lonely Sandbar are nice because they can turn into other cards. So if we do get in that situation when we don't have a treasure hunt and gets Thoughtseized or something, at least we can cycle, get a little bit deeper, try to find it. We can also do tricks where we like put a treasure hunt back on top of our deck with Mystic Sanctuary and then cycle to draw it right away, combo off, win the game. Jukabog for Graveyard Hate, because why not? Radiant Fountain, Dismal Backwater, gain us a bit of life against aggro, Evolving Wilds, a bunch of basic lands. You probably noticed no rare lands in this deck, and you could definitely use some rare lands. Like Watery Grave would be really good. It's a swamp island that also supports Mystic Sanctuary. Blast Zone would give us a removal land, but I really wanted this build of Zombie Hunt to have literally 0 rares in it, and even as few uncommons as possible, because I wanted this to be a deck that anyone, whether you're free to play, whether you're a whale, could put together and check out on Magic Arena. So that was part of the goal. So I know technically we can play Watery Graves and Blast Zones and still be like under budget, but one of my goals was to make sure this was literally 0 rares, 0 mythics, and as few uncommons as possible. Sideboard, it's 15 islands, but honestly, you don't sideboard with the deck, because if you sideboard in a non-land card, it's going to fizzle the combo. Like, Leyline of Sanctity would be great in our deck to protect for Thoughtseize. It would be amazing. It would be so good. The problem is, we need to make sure when we cast Treasure Hunt, that every single time we're either hitting another Treasure Hunt, or we're hitting the Zombie Infestation. So if we bring in Leyline of Sanctity, let's say, we take and cast our Treasure Hunt, and we draw a bunch of cards and hit a Leyline, and then the combo fizzles, we don't find a Treasure Hunt, we lose, even though we got the Leyline. So that's why our sideboard is 15 islands. Essentially, you just don't want to sideboard with the deck. If you're playing a less budget build, throw a bunch of utility lands in there. You can put Blast Zones and Tectonic Edges and Ghost Quarters, whatever. Just throw in whatever random utility lands might be helpful, but never, ever bring in a non-land card out of the sideboard. And that is 0 mythic, 0 rare Historic Zombie Hunt. And I'm actually kind of like unreasonably excited to play this because Zombie Hunt is just such a sweet, unique archetype. So I want to see how it works in Historic. Can it work with 0 rares, 0 mythics? Can we dodge the Thoughtseizes? Can we dodge the counter spells? Pick up some wins? Let's jump into some games, see it in action. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit with a wrap up. All right, budget magic time. We are starting off 2020 in the memeiest way possible, which is we are zombie hunting in Historic. I can't believe we have not played this deck in Historic before. It's kind of blowing my mind that we haven't played it. So let's see, what are we doing here? Yeah, let's just play a swamp go. So we have the treasure hunt. We even have this zombie infestation. So yeah, let's just zombie infestate. This is a weird draw where we actually just have a lot of our finishers. We should be in pretty good shape here. Opponent, Treacherous Blessing. Well, let's start making zombies. Discard, discard. Discard, discard. And now we get to treasure hunt. Hopefully draw a ton of cards. Hopefully also hit Reliquary Tower, preferably. Opponent. So they're probably a Doom Foretold deck, which does mean they're going to be able to kill our zombie infestation at some point. Well, let's treasure hunt. Be good. Oh dear. That's not that good. Lonely Sandbar. Wow, that was awkward. Hitcha. Ooh, this actually leaves us open after getting a really good start to our opponent going like Thoughtseize, Doom Foretold or something. Opponent. Swamp. Oh, sure. Basilica. Yes, okay. That's not what we were afraid of. We will discard Lonely Sandbar. Well, now the dream is that we treasure hunt into another treasure hunt? Wow. This is seriously wow! That is so unfortunate from a mathematical perspective. Oh no! When we cast the first treasure hunt, we had 1, 2, 3, 4 we had 4 non-lands in our deck. So on average, we should draw like 20 cards. However, oh yeah, we're almost certainly going to lose this game now. Wow, that is unlucky. That is insanely unlucky. Okay, well, yeah, I mean, treasure hunt, high risk, high reward. It does crazy things, but when you run bad, bad things happen. Oh, so now we need to draw treasure hunt. We have 2 treasure hunts out of 46 cards, so the math here is not great for us. On the other hand, the math is ridiculously poor that we cast 2 treasure hunts and drew 3 cards. Like, that is next to impossible. Well, all right, Reliquary Tower go. Yeah, so I think we're gonna lose this game. That's insane. That's insane. It's like, oh, wow. Wow. That might be the least lucky I've ever gotten with this deck, honestly. Opponent has a Doom Foretold. So we have to draw Treasure Hunt this turn, or we concede, because this Doom Foretold is going to eat away both of our zombie hunts. And now our opponent's going to be able to bring in discard spells, which make this a lot worse. All right, well, we sack this. Nah, Treasure Hunt? Well, we get to cycle. One more look. Treasure Hunt? No. And, yeah, okay. Wow. Well, I'm glad that happened, because it's good to see how things can go horribly wrong. This is a very, like, mathy deck, but it also does depend on luck, because if you run poorly, it's tough. Well, we got a mulligan, no treasure hunt. Mulligan, no treasure hunt. Well, there's a treasure hunt. Unfortunately, now that our opponent knows what they're doing, they're probably going to mulligan for a Thoughtseize equally aggressively. We will put a Bojuka Bog and a Island to the, well, Bojuka Bog Island. Well, we'll see. I mean, in theory, if they don't have discard this turn, which they don't, we do get to Reliquary Tower Treasure Hunt. And it almost certainly can't go as bad as last time. Okay, that's better. That's better-ish. Opponent, tap land. Well, yeah, I guess we keep going. So we just need to find a Zombie Infestation. This is more how the deck is supposed to work. Once we find Zombie Infestation, we can just make a lethal board. Sure, opponent gets rid of our treasure hunt. After we play this swamp, we do want to play islands in case we want to sanctuary back a treasure hunt in the future. Opponent gonna crack, get a tap land. Let's cycle Barrenmore. Actually, let's wait till the end of turn in case. You never know. They could have a sneaky slow roll Thoughtseize. Cycle Barrenmore. Well, let's do it again. Treasure hunt. One of these is gonna hit the Infestation. All right, there's Infestation. So play an island, play Infestation, and all right, we should have this now. We just wait till the end of our opponent's turn, discard everything, make a super lethal board. And if our opponent plays Doom Foretold, doesn't matter. If they have a Wrath, it doesn't matter. Like, that's the upside of this deck. Once this happens, I mean, we have so many cards in hand that we can almost not lose. We have, does it tell us? 28? 28's enough. That's 14 2/2s. All right, opponent going to Oath of Kaya. Well, end of turn. Start the fun. Discard. I mean, our opponent's super dead here. I don't know if they know they're super dead. They might not realize just how many zombies are coming their way, but it is lethal and a half. And this is with 0 rares and mythics. This is as budget as a deck can possibly be. Oh, we could have had round 1, too. Discard. So we need 24 power? We have 14, 16. Yeah, I think we're good. 18, 20... 22, 24. And opponent sees the lethal board of zombies and scoops it up. Well, I mean, like we said, high risk, high reward. The deck can win, and it isn't horrible by any stretch. But we can also. Ooh, all right, well, this hand is great. We will keep this. No Thoughtseize, please. I mean, if our opponent's not playing Thoughtseize, then life is spectacular. Island go. No discard. discard. Come on. No Thoughtseize, no duress, just pass. It'll be fine. Okay, that is not the 1 mana black spell we were concerned about. Well, now we get to Reliquary Tower and Treasure Hunt. And pass the turn. Opponent, Silver Smoot Ghoul. Do we have untapped black mana? We do. All right, so let's just get the Infestation going. Pass the turn. I don't think we quite have lethal zombies here. Treacherous Blessing. Yeah. So I think we just make a huge board of zombies and then Treasure Hunt again. Opponent's all about these clean to dust. Well, let's make some zombies. See if our opponent attacks. All right, so discard and discard. Discard. Actually, that could be good. Discard, discard. Mostly we want to save islands and Mystic Sanctuaries, I think. Discard, discard. Discard, and discard. Discard, discard. Maybe we don't care about our opponent. We have 1 island. All right, discard, discard. And I think that's enough for now. So we get to untap. We get to Treasure Hunt again. Play an island. Hit ya. And, is there any reason not to play? Yeah, let's play the second Infestation. Pass the turn. So I think this is lethal. 1, 2, 3, 4. So our opponent, Griffin Airy, sure. I don't think that stops us from being lethal. Opponent land. Oath of Kaya. So they go up to 10 and get a grit. Oh, they're super dead. This wasn't even close. Well, when you don't get Thoughtseize, this deck's actually really good. And opponent scoops it up, and that is how you zombie hunt. I mean, we might have got a little lucky that our opponent was not Thoughtseizing us, but we'll take it. Sweet, sweet. All right, budget magic time. We are memeing around in Historic this week with well, that's a good hand. With some zombie hunt action. 0 rare, 0 mythic, literally as cheap as it gets, and Sand's not bad. I mean, hopefully you don't get Thoughtseize. That would make it a lot worse. See what our opponent's up to. But we have, I mean, turn 2 Treasure Hunt, which is pretty spectacular. And we're not that far away from Mystic Sanctuarying it back if our opponent does have Thoughtseize. We need one more island. What do you got, opponent? What do you got? All right, Triume. Well, Reliquary Tower, Treasure Hunt. Pass the turn. I mean, we are going to have to resolve our Zombie Infestation. Opponent's going to Thoughtseize our Treasure Hunt. Well, let's play a island. Go. Opponent Growth Spirals. I mean, we could also cycle into Zombie Infestation. All right, more islands. I'll play the island, pass the turn. Next turn, we can Mystic Sanctuary back Treasure Hunt. Or just draw it. Well, let's Treasure Hunt. And so now we just need our opponent to tap out. Let's Paducah Bog. We could have just went Swamp and run out, maybe, I don't know. Maybe we should have just went Swamp and run out Zombie Infestation. It's tough with open blue mana. By not doing it, we risk getting hit by a second Thoughtseize. Opponent plays a tap land, passes. Well, I mean, yeah. Oh my god, it resolved. Okay. Mystic Sanctuary. Get back Treasure Hunt. Okay, this should be good. Oh, I think we should have it. And we will just pass. All right, opponent. Can you beat the zombies? Can you beat the zombies? Now we don't really especially care what our opponent does. We're going to beat a Thoughtseize, I think. Opponent needs to kill Zombie Infestation and Wrath, which is tough with 5 mana. They need, like, Assassin's Trophy into Cry of the Carnarium or something. That is their potential out to this. Gets a Swamp. About it. You got it? You got the answers? Opponent really is going to need some, thinking, sure. I mean, maybe they actually have a plan here. I guess it's not impossible. Unlikely, but not impossible. I mean, I guess the good news is odds are not bad that we get to reassemble. Oh, okay. Opponent chooses
I protect that which cannot protect
to play
itself.
a broken card and die, I think. Yeah, sure.
The land fights for us.
Yes, the land fights for you, Nissa, but the zombies fight for us. Discard you, and here comes a zombie horde, and I'm pretty sure this is lethal even through a blocker. I haven't actually counted, but we got so many cards in our hand. It's gotta be. It's gotta be. Discard, discard. Discard, discard. All right, so we're up to 8 power. We need 20? We need 10 zombies. I guess 11 to be safe in case they have, like, a removal spell. off of this land, they could potentially deal with two zombies. So it's 6, 7, 8. Oh yeah, we got it. We got it easy. I mean, I guess they could have Fog. I don't think this deck has ever played a Fog, but Fog into Wrath would get us. Discard, 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 and discard, discard. And yeah, I mean, I guess we go all the way. Opponent, you're gonna GG us. Good game to you. And yeah, beat a Thoughtseize. We beat a Thoughtseize. And we will not sideboard any islands. I mean, I'm not sure this is actually a very good matchup. Opponent likely has counters and Thoughtseizes. And counters and Thoughtseizes are things that can beat us. But it worked out that time even through the Thoughtseize. That is the power of the Mystic Sanctuary backup plan. It does give us some hope at beating a Thoughtseize. Would probably be even better in a I'm going to say non-budget build, but it would still be super cheap. But if it had Watery Grave, I want to have 0 rares, 0 mythics, but Watery Grave as a Swamp Island dual land that works with Mystic Sanctuary and lets us play both of our non-land cards would actually be really good in the deck. Easy upgrade. All right, on to game number 2 against Sultai Uru. Sultai mid-range, whatever you want to call it. We're on the draw. Hopefully we have a, yeah, well, no non-lands, no keep. No non-lands, no keep. All right. Swamp and... Actually, you know what? Let's keep 2 on-tap lands. Let's go Island, Swamp, and Evolving Wilds to get an island. All right. Don't Thoughtseize us. More swamps. Well, Evolving Wilds, go. Unfortunately, we can't run out Treasure Hunt next turn unless we draw a Reliquary Tower. Fabled Passage. And there's the Thoughtseize. Yeah, I mean, that is something we were concerned about. Take Zombie Infestation. That's a card that kills ya. Always take the Treasure Hut. Yeah, opponent makes the correct choice. Well, I mean, I guess this does mean we get to play Zombie Infestation, although it also means we're gonna need to find another Treasure Hunt. Well, Swamp and Infestation, go. Yeah. That's why Thoughtseize is good against us. That's a good example of why Thoughtseize is... Well, it looks like our opponent kept their hand almost exclusively because they had a Thoughtseize. Well, play an island, hit ya. Want to play the islands because we do want to be able to Mystic Sanctuary if we find it. Yeah, cycle only Sandbar. Treasure Hunt. Reliquary Tower. Well, hit ya. We're set up if we find it. Our opponent did keep... Oh, our red mana. Okay. Down to 12. Interesting. Maelstrom Pulse. Treasure Hunt. Well, cycle Lonely Sandbar. We will not cycle this one. Hit ya. All right, the little zombie that could. 5 more turns. 5 more turns and we get there with the 2-2. Opponent passing. Well, cycle Lonely Sandbar. Cycle Barrenmore. Well, play the island. Well, we're set up for Mystic Sanctuary if we draw it. We've cycled a lot, which helps. Opponents, yeah, they kept the Thoughtseize hand and not much else. Well, go to combat, hit ya. I guess we play Evolving Wilds because it technically thins our deck. Opponent is at 6. The zombie is... It's unlikely to actually work, but you never know. All right, that's nothing. Well, hit ya. Down to 4. Come on, deck. Uro. Up to 7. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. Give us that Treasure Hunt. I'll get it. Hurt ya. Down to 5. Play Dismal Backwater past the turn. Thankfully, they don't have the mana at the moment to get back Uro. We are running out of time, though. Like, this is the downside of the deck. We don't have that many non-land cards, so if our opponent can... All right, there's a Nissa. Opponent's at 3.
World.
Oh,
Nice,
come on,
my
deck.
elemental friend.
Hits us. 18. Well, cycle Barrenmore. Oh. All right. Well, this is the downside. We're seeing the downside, which is we can fizzle. And we are fizzling. Escape to the Wilds. Gonna draw a ton of cards. Fabled Passage. Cracks it. Still does not have Uro mana. Bajuka Bog would actually be somewhat relevant. Oh, wait, they do, because they can play an extra land. So they can get Uro mana. Green, green, blue, blue. Or not. I mean, I guess they have it with Nissa, so they do have Uro mana if they want it. I mean, the question is, do we find treasure?
The land
We gotta
shall
find it like
conquer
now.
you.
No blocks. Down to 13. Yeah, I think we have to draw a treasure hunt this turn. Well, Bajukabog the Uro. I'm still not convinced this is enough, though. I think we're probably officially slightly unlucky now. To not hit a Mystic Sanctuary, like, we have gotten pretty deep in our deck. Counting Mystic Sanctuary, we have 7 treasure hunts we can hit, and we have gotten 23 cards deep thanks to cycling, so I think we are running a little bit below average. Opponent, going to get rid of our zombies. I don't think Witch's Vengeance is actually normally that good against us, but, well, we'll see. Oh, we had a chance here, too. Opponent is playing a very ambitious mana base. Well, Cycle Marinmore. And couldn't find it. And I mean, I'm kind of glad that happened, because that is one of the downsides of this deck, that we only have a few cards that matter. So if our opponent can stop those few cards, and we do put people to the test very quickly, like that's one of the upsides, but if our opponent can stop our few cards that matter, things can go wrong in a hurry, so to speak. It's just hard to reassemble the combo when things go wrong. Well, I mean, we're keeping this. It is weak to Thoughtseize, and our opponent kept 7, so having Thoughtseize seems like a realistic possibility. We can't treasure hunt this turn. All right, so there's the Thoughtseize. Well, I guess let the cycling begin. If there's any good news, it's that we do have a bunch of cycling lands. Cycle you, play a land past the turn. Opponent, forest, and Uro. Well, cycle you. Not helpful. Cycle you. Maybe helpful in the future if we live that long. Well, play an island. Pass the turn. Oh, it's happening again. Pone had the turn 1 Thoughtseize both game. Oh my goodness. Pone has also had really, very solid draws. Kind of exactly when you play
Behold,
Uro
nature's
pile.
true power.
The draws that our opponent is getting are kind of exactly the draws that you are hoping to get. Thoughtseize into Uro into Nissa on turn 3. That is tough. That is tough to keep up with. Or turn 4. Grab an island. And I think we're just gonna be too slow here. Like, we can Mystic Sanctuary, but our opponent has a handful of cards. They're gonna be able to get back Uro. They're making a huge board of Nissa stuff. So we're gonna reassemble, but our opponent just has such a ridiculously fast clock here, and double mana because of Nissa. I mean, not that this matchup oh god almighty. I was thinking there was no way our opponent was gonna Uro, but I guess if you draw every growth spiral in your, oh my god. Wow. Alright, well. Yeah, now our opponent gets to Uro too, and I think that just does it. That was quite the chain of growth spirals for our opponent there. And now Mystic Sanctuary is definitely too slow. Yeah. Yeah, that is unfortunate. Well, this is when exactly how our opponent wants. We got to top deck treasure hunt this exact turn. Right now, off the top, and that's it. Mystic Sanctuary is not fast enough. Opponent has a Narset.
Those who cannot pronounce
Narset's not actually that good against us. I guess it's not, wow, not good for our opponent either. We draw nothing. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Wow, we fizzled pretty hard those last 2 games. Ouch. All right, budget magic time. We are zombie hunting in Historic this week. Memeing it up for 2021, and his hand seems fine. We got a treasure hunt. A reliquary tower short of the actual dream draw, but, well, backwater go. Please no Thoughtseize. It's a Lures deck, so you know Thoughtseize is a possibility. They are in the colors. Stitcher Supplier. Alright. Island, go. Build it. Mountain. And gets in for 1. Sure. Yeah, let's cycle, I guess. We do want to make sure we hit Reliquary Tower. That is important. Oh, we gotta go for it. Alright, there's the Reliquary Tower. Oh, so we remain alive. Well, let's see if they got the Thoughtseize. Next turn we can, if they don't have Thoughtseize, we can treasure hunt into, hopefully, Zombie Infestation, just win. Village Rights to draw a couple cards and mill a couple cards. Mill's a Thoughtseize, that's good. Well, what do you got about it? Kesselakwain, Stitcher Supplier to mill some more cards. Oh, another Thoughtseize milled. Well, that's 2 Thoughtseizes down. Stitcher Supplier. Well, I guess if we don't hit anything, we can just Bajuka Bog. Well, let's start with Treasure Hunt. See what we find. If it's Zombie Infestation, we play it. Well, all right. We're going to make zombies. So play an island. Zombie Infestation. So opponent can go land to get back Croxa, but I'm not actually sure that's super relevant here. Opponent untaps. Yeah. Well, here comes Croxa. We will discard a Reliquary Tower. Opponent. Wow. All right. Well, let's see. Discard the black sources. Make a zombie. Make a zombie. Block the Stitcher Suppliers. Do we even make more zombies here? Oh, opponent just scoops it up. Okay. Opponent made the decision for us. Well, yeah, run it back. All right. That was not bad. I assume our opponent's gonna get more discard after sideboarding, maybe to some extent. Having main deck Bajuka Bog seems like a nice little bit of tech against our opponent's deck. Opponent is on the play, so double Treasure Hunt hand, please. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna keep it. All right, so they do get Duresses to go with their Thoughtseizes. Evolving Wilds go. Pump is a Swamp, and Stitcher's Supplier. Mills, nothing super relevant. I'll crag this, grab an island. Evolving Wilds pass the turn. Well, we're looking for Treasure Hunts and Mystic Sanctuaries. Opponent has red mana. A young Pyromancer. Pretty good. And more Stitcher Suppliers. Alright, hits a Claim to Fame. Well, thin the deck. Grab an island. Cycle Sandbar. Come on, real card. More islands. Opponent hits us. I'm gonna play the Swamp past the turn. Yeah, that Thoughtseize might be enough for our opponent here. They're gonna be able to go pretty wide, which is going to mean we're gonna need to hit something pretty quick. Arcanus, not that good. I mean, I guess it's fine. It makes tokens and gets in damage. They can, like, just flash back the duress to make a token. Yeah, not hitting a Bajuka Bog is obnoxious. So what do we have, like, 2-ish turns, I guess, to hit Treasure Hunt into Zombie Infestation? To have a chance? No, Cycle Baron more. I'm gonna play Radiant Fountain. Ooh, yeah. Well, the Thoughtseize is good. Opponent gets Aluris. Attacks with everything. Down to 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And on to game 3. Yeah, I mean, Thoughtseize is really good. That is the downside. Thoughtseize and counter spells. If it wasn't for those cards, I don't think it's impossible if this would be a tier 1 deck, especially with London Mulligans, making it fixing one of the biggest problems with the deck in the past, which was sometimes you don't find Treasure Hunt. With London Mulligans, you never don't have Treasure Hunt. I mean, I guess not never, but it's incredibly rare that you cannot mulligan into a Treasure Hunt. Wow, I might have picked the wrong time to go on that little rant. Okay, there we go. So we will put Barrenmore Island to the bottom. I mean, the thing is, I think our opponent probably has 8 discard spells, so I'm not sure. Like, the odds of our opponent not having one here is pretty slim, I think. We do have the Bajuka Bog, which is not bad. Well, land go. Opponent also mulligan, presumably to find a discard spell. Untap land, Thoughtseize. All right, so as predicted, opponent aggressively mulligans, does find the Thoughtseize. And now we are kind of doing nothing for the time being. Can we find another Treasure Hunt or Island Mystic Sanctuary before it's too late? Opponent has a Croxa. Okay. I guess we Radiant Fountain. Would like to get more value, I think, out of this Bajuka Bog if possible. Would have rather had an island there, but for Mystic Sanctuary purposes. Opponent finds Young Pyromancer. Oh, Bajuka Bog, yeah. Oh, opponent's got a clock, though, and I don't know if we're going to reassemble. Like, if we just top deck Treasure Hunt, we should win this game. Odds are heavily in favor. Oh, dear. 2 Young Pyromancers? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. No. Not like this. Opponent gets and hits us down to 13. Scourge of the Skyclaves. Oh, the fizzle is so on. Wow, opponent had a very strong 5-card hand Duress to make tokens. Well, it's gotta be this turn. It is this turn or bust, I believe, for this match. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. It's an island. Yeah. Thoughtseize. All right. Budget magic time. We are starting off 2021 with one of the memeiest decks in the history of Magic. This is a historic oh my goodness. Well, we're keeping that. It is somewhat shocking that the piece we're missing is a blue source of mana. All right, there we go. Island go. Well, now this hand is very good. It even theoretically beats a Thoughtseize. Ugh. Burrow pile. Well, Reliquary Tower Treasure Hunt. About it. Meh. Pretty disappointing treasure hunt considering we had already drawn half of our non-land cards in our deck. Opponent plays a forest. Fabled Passage. And Room. Okay. And passes. Well, Swamp and Zombie Infestation. All right, here comes the zombies. Are they going to be enough, though? We don't have a lethal amount now because, again, our treasure hunt was a lot weaker than we would have liked. Opponent, tap land, and Assassin's Trophy. Well, let's start making zombies. Discard. We're going to hold on to the Bajuka Bog, I think. So, 4 zombies, 8 power. We will grab a island. Opponent passes. Well, let's treasure hunt. That was a better treasure hunt. Go to combat, attack ya. Opponent takes it. I think we're gonna play an untapped land in Zombie Infestation. This plays around Censor, which is a thing. Okay, well, I feel like we should have it now. We have a lot of lands in hand. Narset, not relevant.
I know.
And I mean, I think that should guarantee this is game.
Hone your prowess.
Opponent gets a Nissa. We don't care about that. Opponent passing. Well, discard. And we got the GGs. And I mean, that's how you jank out the best deck in the format. Dodge them Thoughtseizes, and life is pretty good. Even with a fairly disappointing treasure hunt for our first one. The second one was great. The second treasure hunt was very above average. First one, though, was meh. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. Well, so this is going essentially how you want games with this deck to go. You want to win game 1 when your opponent doesn't know what's going on, and then you hope that you can get one of the second 2 once your opponent brings in, presumably, an ungodly amount of discard and counter spells. A little bit like Legacy Dredge, let's say, or a deck like that where you really want to win game 1 and then you just kind of pray really hard to the Magic gods that you can steal one of the post-board games. The deck is ridiculous though, and it's free. So that's the thing about, I mean, when I say free, it's no rares and no mythics. And I think that's one of the upsides of this deck is like, do you want this to be your primary deck? No. Do you want to try to use this to grind up to mythic or something? No, almost certainly not. On the other hand, should you build this deck? I think the answer is yes, because it's really funny, it's really unique. It might even be better if you're a best of 1 player, because then you don't have to deal with the sideboard problems. Like maybe we should try best of 1. Like maybe that's what we should be doing, is trying to best of 1 with this deck. That might be even better, because then you're dodging the sideboard cards, which are so good. I mean, best of 1. Maybe we'll try it. We've never had a hybrid. I'm just thinking of all this now. Like, the biggest issue with the deck is getting got by, well, I mean, Thoughtseize and so forth in the main deck, but then also the games after sideboarding get a lot harder. Maybe we'll try some best of 1 after this. Just out of curiosity. Or maybe everyone's got all that stuff in the main deck and best of 1 and it doesn't matter. Yeah, all right. Well, rule 1 of zombie hunting is mulligan until you find treasure hunt. We will put a Barrenmoor and Evolving Wilds to the bottom. Well, all right. Don't Thoughtseize us, please. Please don't Thoughtseize us. Untap land. Thoughtseize. All right. Well, that was Zombie Infestation. Tempting. Opponent makes the correct choice. Takes treasure hunt. Tap. Oh, okay. Well, that's actually not the worst. We luck into another treasure hunt, which, well, we'll see what our opponent does. See if they have another Thoughtseize. If they don't, this treasure hunt could win us the game. Do we make a zombie? We probably do. No, play the land, go to combat, attack, hit ya. Treasure hunt, discard, and discard. Make some zombies pass the turn. Okay, okay. Is it happening? Against a row pile? Opponent, land, and passing? I mean, we can make 2 more zombies. Not quite lethal, but pretty good. We had to main phase zombies because we don't have Reliquary Tower at the moment. If you have Zombie Infestation, though, you can... I mean, it's still nice to have Reliquary Tower, but it's a lot less necessary. I'll discard, discard. Cycle. Discard, discard. Untap. Go to combat, hit ya. Down to 4, Treasure Hunt. And... yeah, Reliquary Tower Zombie Infestation. And I think that should do it. It should be next to impossible for our opponent to win from here, I think. They need to Wrath and kill both Zombie Infestations. And I don't think 5 mana can do that. Okay, they have the Wrath, but doesn't matter. And okay. Uro pile going down. Well, we beat a Thoughtseize. We had to get lucky, but we did beat a Thoughtseize. Opponent passing. Well, I guess we make a few more zombies. Discard, discard. Not sure why our opponent's not conceding. I mean, they said good game, so I think it's over, but... I mean, we'll make an extra zombie. Okay. I mean, you never know. They could have some 1-mana removal spell. Well, that's how you beam them out. That's how you beam them out. Oh, winning a Thoughtseize matchup. That is a rarity. I mean, like I said, you can't beat it. Mystic Sanctuary does help, but Thoughtseize is really good against us. All right. Zombies. Sweet, sweet. All right, let's put our best in 1 theory to the test for a couple of games and see. Because we have been really good at zombie hunting our way to 2 game 1 wins. So maybe that means best of 1 is going to be even a better home for it because every game's a game 1. On the other hand, the die roll is super important, and apparently we're not good at winning die rolls ever. Opponent, Llanowar Elves. This is a good hand, though. We have the Reliquary Tower to go with the Treasure Hunt. Opponent, Rootbound Crag, and Pelt Collector. And Pelt Collector. Well, we will play Reliquary Tower, Treasure Hunt. That was a okay but not great Treasure Hunt. Opponent plays a land. Hits us. Has an Embercleave. Well, Treasure Hunt again. Play a Radiant Fountain. Oh boy. Well, we shall see. Runs out of Bone Crusher, so we're taking 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so basically we just have to hit. Oh, there's Zombie Infestation. Okay, so we get to Treasure Hunt. We should be fine. Treasure Hunt. Find a swamp. Zombie Infestation. And I mean, we should be able to just make enough zombies that nothing else matters. I guess the concern would be our opponent having another Embercleave. We can probably block in a way where that's not going to kill us, though. Because we can make a lot of zombies here. Like, a lot of zombies. Oh, our hand is 38 cards at the moment. So, yeah, opponent. Done, diddly done. And, okay. Well, so far so good in the best of 1 world for Zombie Hunt. Oh boy, that was a big treasure hunt. Oh, we've had some bad ones, but we've also had some ridiculously good ones, and that was definitely on the ridiculously good end of the scale. Like, that was, you can't really ask more than, what did we hit, 30 cards? Drew half of our deck for 2 mana. Broken. Woo! All right. Well, let's try another one. And that was without winning the die roll, right? We're on the Well, we got the Reliquary Tower, but no Treasure Hunt. Oh, 2 Reliquary Towers, still no Treasure Hunts. I mean, I guess if we just... Oh, boy. Oh, dear. All right, we found it. Sort of. We got to put 4 to the bottom. 1, 2... Actually, you know what? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, boom. Dismal Backwater. Please don't Thoughtseize us or we scoop. Boot it. We finally won a die roll, but boy, that hand was not helpful. Pelt collect. Oh, rule again? Okay. Well, if everyone's playing Gruul, then then I think this deck gets much better, because I'm not sure if we ever lose to Gruul. I mean, we can lose to anything, but Gruul seems like a pretty decent matchup. Treasure Hunt. Oh, that was a weak one. All right, well, Island Go. That was not what we were hoping for on the Mulligan to Oblivion. Now I'm a little worried. That Treasure Hunt was not good. Not even that was really bad. Opponent, Zertar Goblin, haste it in. Gonna draw a Gallia, hit us for 6. So we need a big Treasure Hunt into Zombie Infestation. That's how we win this game. Opponent plays a tap land. Well, Treasure Hunt. Oh, wow, this is going ridiculously poorly. Well, Radiant Fountain. Okay. We will discard a bunch of cards to hand size. Oh, geez. Yeah, this is the bad running. If they have Embercleave, are we dead? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I guess not officially. Questing Beast actually kills us, because all of our zombies are 2/2s. So we take 4 an opponent. GG's, like a like a very friendly person, and we'll go to the next one. Well, in that case, our deck just did not run well, and that is one of the downsides of Treasure Hunt. Is it's definitely possible to just run poorly, and that was running poorly. Our first Treasure Hunt was horrible. And then our second Treasure Hunt didn't hit a Reliquary Tower or a Zombie Infestation. So, yeah, we lost to ourselves more than our opponent in that game. Well, we'll keep this. What's Evolving Wilds? Thin the deck a bit. Pass the turn. Opponent. Boy. Is Best of One just a format where everyone plays Gruul? Is that just it? Is that the meta? Is that the meta of this format? Gruul for everyone. Well, Island Go. All right, as long as this Treasure Hunt does not curse us like it did last match, we should be in good shape here. Opponent worrying about counters. Little do they know, they don't need to. Gives and hits us. Well, Treasure Hunt. That was not a great Treasure Hunt. It was okay, but it was not great. We drew what? 5? 5 is not what you want. You want a much bigger number. And we didn't hit a Treasure Hunt. We hit Zombie Infestation. Opponent bolts themselves. Plays a Mammoth. Goes to combat. It hits us. I'll play a Swamp and Zombie Infestation. So we can start making some defense. We're 2 turns away from Mystic Sanctuary. Back a Treasure Hunt. Sanctuary. Opponent gonna War Boss. We got a pretty good set of defense, though. All right, we will discard Dismal Backwater and Island. Make a blocker. And I guess we do it again. Radiant Fountain and Island. Yeah, so opponent does have Stomp, so they get to kill a zombie. But we get to kill their Dork. Well, Cycle only Sandbar. We could just hit a Treasure Hunt. That would also be sweet. Island. Untap. Well, play the Island. Okay. Pass the turn. Well, we need next turn's Treasure Hunt to be good. We shall see. Opponent makes a Dork. Goes to combat. Embercleave is also a bit of a concern. Well, we will discard. Make a zombie. And we will block and block. Opponent has more Bone Crushers. And Scorching Dragonfire. Well, I'm still not sure if this is going to matter. It's going to really depend on how good our Treasure Hunt is. Plays Llanowar. All right, so we untap. We Mystic Sanctuary to get back Treasure Hunt. We cycle Barrenmoor to draw Treasure Hunt. We cast Treasure Hunt. We would like to hit another Treasure Hunt and not the other zombie. Oh my god, it's a very top card. That's so disappointing. Okay, that's more like it. Okay, so we will pass the turn. And now I think we should be fine. We can make a lot of zombies. And then we can still Treasure Hunt again next turn. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. 12. That's very awkward. Is that a card people play? Huh. I don't know if our opponent realized that Don't they just, can't we not block here? Doesn't that say creatures without flying can't block? I mean, yeah, we can't block. Interesting. Like, I think our opponent could have dealt a lot of damage there. I guess it was not lethal either way, though. Discard, discard. Well, here comes the zombies. Is it enough? Opponent does have a pretty annoyingly big board, which I guess is a concern. Discard, discard. Although only one of their things is actually big enough to trade with a zombie. Keep discarding. Keep making zombies. Opponent's not giving up yet. Discard and discard. Discard and discard. I think we just discard. Yeah, I guess that's enough. Because now we can untap Treasure Hunt. And opponent scoops it up. Okay, well, I mean, the zombies come through. Boy, we have played Gruul every time, right? It's just been Gruul every match. Is that what best of one is like? I mean, we are 2-1 in best of one. So it is working. And apparently we mostly beat Gruul. Questing Beast, I guess, is kind of an issue. But it feels like a good matchup. It feels like, since they can't really interact with what we're doing, it feels like we can essentially win that most of the time, I think. I mean, I guess we only played 3 matches, so, well, we can't keep this. Is it Gruul again? Is that the only deck people play in best of one? Can't keep that. Yeah, that we can keep, although this hand is pretty medium. All right. Yeah. This hand's more okay than good. Oh, it is not Gruul. It's a life gain deck. Huh. I don't know if this is good for us or not, honestly. Build it. Pride Mate. Gonna start growing it. Reliquary Tower is our best draw. Wow, we've drawn. Well, I guess the good news is we have drawn a lot of treasure hunts, which means these treasure hunts should be really good. We'll see how far ahead our opponent can get. Healing on. If this gains life. Well, we shall see. We are on the draw this game. Well, treasure hunt. Reliquary Tower. All right. Well, do your worst, I guess. This making angels might be the problem. Like, we're gonna make a lot of dorks next turn, but it might not be enough. Our opponent can give this lifelink, hit us to 10. That's awkward as well. Oh, jeez. All right. Yeah, this is probably not good. Grows a Speaker of the Heavens. Grows a Pride Mate. Hits us for a literal billion. Yeah, and we're dead to. Yeah, we're dead to an angel. Oh, only when you cast a sorcery. So I guess we're not literally dead to an angel. Well, we'll see. We will Zombie Infestation. We basically have to win the game this turn, which means we need this treasure hunt to basically hit the rest of our deck. Not quite. All right. Yeah, I think we're gonna end up just short. That was a bad treasure hunt. We only hit 5, and that is with only 2 non-lands left in our deck. So that was a extremely unfortunate treasure hunt. So the problem is the angels have flying. So we're actually just dead here. We make a bunch of yeah, we'll concede. So what happens is Soulworn's going to gain a bunch of life, whatever. We make a bunch of zombies, but not a lethal amount of zombies. And then our opponent makes a flyer that we can't deal with, and we lose. I mean, I guess we can wait and see how our opponent attacks. Maybe if they attack with both Speaker of the Heavens. Collected Company. On second thought, maybe all that matters is who wins the die roll, no matter what deck you're playing. Is that how all of our matches? I guess we won one when we lost the die roll, right? I mean, this one we definitely lose. Yeah, Speaker of Heavens is definitely obnoxious. Opponent growing their dorks. We're just okay. Opponent makes an angel and we will concede. I mean, we're waiting to see maybe they attack and they're not very good and we get a free win out of it. Yeah, that was an awkward one, I will say. I feel like that should be a good matchup for us, but did not work out that game. Opponent had a very good life gain. Very, very good life gain start. All right. Can we win a die roll? AKA the match. No, but this hand's fine. Now, let's see. Can we break serve and win when we are on the draw? Oh my god, it's Gruul again. It's always Gruul. Always Gruul. Well, pass the turn. Well, we will see. We get to treasure hunt. I mean, again, we've had some not... Oh, opponents comboing off with Burning Tree, eh? That's actually pretty good against us. Well, Reliquary Tower, Treasure. That's pretty awkward. Well, that was a decent treasure hunt. Is it enough to let us win the game? I'm not sure. So we're taking a lot here. We're down to 15. We play a swamp. We Zombie Infestation. Opponent's going to collect a company. And now I think we're almost certainly dead because of these 2 Ferocidons. So random. Well, that's why you gotta win the die rolls. That's why you gotta win the die rolls. Opponent had turn 1. Well, we'll see. Opponent. Well, all right. So we're gonna lose a bunch of life. Discard, discard. So we have to take 2 for each zombie we make. That's less than ideal. So that's 2 for... I guess that probably just kills us. I think we had 1 Ferocidon beat, but our opponent collected 2 main deck Ferocidons. Very... Huh. I don't know. We're not best of 1 players, so maybe that's just what people do in best of 1. Who knows? Maybe that's how this this format works. All right, so this puts us to 7. Okay. Well, we will double block Ferocidons. I mean, if our opponent just also has like a stomp or something, that would get us. Block, 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 block. Oh, okay, so we go to 1. And, I mean, do we actually have hope? Opponent's thinking. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Plan of war. Oh, so it's not lethal though, right? We're just short. All right, let's cycle a sandbar. Discard, discard. The problem is this is going to leave us in a position where we can die to Embercleave, I think. Because I think our opponent can chump block with these Llanowars to stay alive. So we have 10 power. 12, 14, 16. Yeah, opponent would go to 1, but then would win on the backswing. All right. Bajuka Bog. Cycle Sandbar. Cycle Barrenmore. That's not the worst. Be good. Okay. Okay. Go to combat. Attack you. I mean, I don't think we'd be Embercleave either way. Or, of course, our opponent just top decking a burn spell. If our opponent top decks a burn spell, that also would get us. Boy, if we beat 2 Rampaging Ferocidons, well, I mean, this is it. Opponent's got to kill us this turn. We definitely have lethal next turn. A burn spell kills us because we're at 1. Embercleave kills us. Opponent blocks and blocks. I mean, this isn't super relevant. Sure. Gonna use some stuff with ooze. Sure. Also not super relevant. All right, well, let's see what they got. Please not a cleave. Land. Ooze. Oh, game. Got him. About it. Attacks. Well, all right. We make the defense, and wow. Double Rampaging Ferocidon doesn't matter. I think our opponent wanted, yeah. I think our opponent was trying to draw with Gallia and didn't realize that discarding a card is required to be able to draw with Gallia. So by playing their last card, they couldn't do it. And all right, well, is it better in best of 1? It's definitely better. Is it good? I don't know. We went 3 of 2. We played Gruul a million times. It's good against Gruul. Like, Gruul is, maybe this is the solution. Like, if this is what the meta looks like, and a ton of people are playing just like these green-red creature decks, maybe Zombie Infestation Treasure Hunt is the solution to the best of 1 format. Huh. Well, I mean, regardless, it can't be the price. 0 rares is as good as it gets. Sweet, sweet, sweet. So what did we learn this week about Zombie Hunt in Historic? And we kind of got a little bit of a 2-for-1. We started off playing best of 3, and video-wise, we went 2 and 2, although overall, I was like 3 and 5, I think, with the deck. You kind of got to see the good and the bad. That was kind of the idea of the videos, matches we ended up showing in the video, was want to see it like go off, but then also see like how Thought Seizes can be really brutal against it, and counter spells can be really brutal against it. So I think we had a good mixture of our matches, and you got to see what the deck is trying to do and how powerful it can be. Like, it can be insanely powerful, but it's also relatively easy to disrupt. So our opponent, if they have the right interaction, they have the Mystical Dispute on turn 2, they have the Thoughtseize on turn 1, things can fall apart quickly. Yes, Mystic Sanctuary does help us recover, but that is still a concern. So after playing a bunch of best of 3 matches, it kind of struck me mid-video that Zombie Hunt feels like the perfect best of 1 deck, because if you look at our best of 3 matches, and this kind of held over for the matches that didn't show up in the videos too, is the deck is really good at winning game 1s. Because at game 1, like, sure, our opponent can have a Thoughtseize, sure, if they're a certain deck, they can have a counter spell, but really, people don't know what we're doing in game 1. People don't know that they should mulligan aggressively into their Thoughtseizes. They don't have sideboards full of duresses and more counters to bring in. So our deck is really good at winning game 1s, but then in game 2 or game 3, our opponent knows what we're doing. So as we are mulliganing for Treasure Hunt, they tend to just like mulligan until they have a Thoughtseize, and we're like, oh, Thoughtseize you, I win, huh? So that's kind of the issue. In best of 1, though, that's all avoided. Because it's a 1-game match, our opponent doesn't know what deck we're playing for the entire match. They can't mulligan into hate cards for our Treasure Hunt, the Thoughtseizes or whatever, and they don't even get to sideboard in best of 1. So they can't bring in 4 more duresses and a bunch of negates or Dovin Vetoes or Mystical Disputes or whatever. So this feels like the perfect best of 1 deck, and that kind of was borne out in our matches of best of 1. Like, sure, we went 3-2, so it wasn't like an absurd record, but it felt much easier. We played against a bunch of like Gruul decks and other just random creature decks, and in those matchups, oh my goodness, the deck is actually very powerful, because if we're unimpeded and our opponent can't interact with what we're doing, this deck is actually really hard to beat most of the time. On the other hand, it is possible to get unlucky. We saw some of that too. There are times, as depressing as they are, where you do everything right and you mulligan into your Treasure Hunt, and then you cast Treasure Hunt and like Zombie Infestation is the top card of your library. You're just like cry and weep, and it just ruins your entire day, because then you lose. So there is risk involved. There's some like weird math going on where, yes, sometimes Treasure Hunt draws you 30 cards, other times it draws you 1 card. When you draw 30, you probably win. When you draw 1, you probably lose. Even though the average is whatever, 13 cards or something you're gonna hit with the Treasure Hunt, there's a lot of variance within there. So keep that in mind. You can do everything perfectly right and still end up losing with the deck just by getting unlucky with how your deck is positioned, and that's part of what makes this deck so ridiculous, so unique, so fun. So I love this deck. Is it super duper ultra competitive? Yeah, I think it's much better in best of 1 than best of 3. Best of 3, sideboarding does hurt it, and in Historic, there's so many Thoughtseizes. I looked at the numbers, and it's like 52% of decks play Thoughtseize right now, and that does make Zombie Hunt a lot sketchier that so many people have potential for turn 1 Thoughtseize. In best of 1, though, I think it's actually like pretty legitimate, and it does work in a way that's perfect for ranking up in best of 1, because the games are going to be really fast. Like, seriously, you can play like 3 turns and either win or lose, because either your opponent like counters your Treasure Hunt, Thoughtseizes your Treasure Hunt, and they're probably going to win, or they don't, and then you're almost certainly going to win. So it seems like a really good best of 1 deck. Other than that, there's not a ton to say about this deck, in all honesty. There's not a ton of like tricks or weirdness going on. I will say the only skill part of the deck, outside of mulliganing until you find Treasure Hunt, is what lands that you play. And here's the main thinking of playing lands with the deck. So keep those in mind if you do decide to pick up this build of Zombie Hunt for Historic. So number 1 is we need blue source for Treasure Hunt. Number 2 is we need a single black source. We never ever need more than 1 black source on the battlefield. So once we have a black source, be it a Bajuka Bog or a Swamp or a Barrenmoor, it doesn't matter. Once we have a black source, we don't need to play anymore. So in general, play an island, play a Reliquary Tower if you have have one for the combo, get down 1 black source, and then after that, we ideally want to just play island, 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 so we can make sure if we draw a Mystic Sanctuary, we have enough islands to turn it on, get back a treasure hunt, keep the combo going. Also, when you're like discarding cards, keep in mind the cycling lands do add a lot of value, especially with Mystic Sanctuary being able to like put a treasure hunt back, cycle into it immediately, combo off right there, draw a bunch of cards, make a bunch of zombies, win the game. So that's kind of the main plan. First, play an island. Second, if you have it, play Reliquary Tower. Third, get down a black source, I don't really care what one. And then after that, just play islands as much as possible to turn on Mystic Sanctuary. Finally, the only other trick, and I kind of mentioned this in the deck tech, please, 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 do not fire off Treasure Hunt on turn 2 unless you have Reliquary Tower. That is the easiest way to lose with this deck. If you just go like Island, Island, Treasure Hunt, yeah, you're going to draw a ton of cards, but then you're going to discard a ton of cards to hand size. So if you have Reliquary Tower, fire off your Treasure Hunt on turn 2. Otherwise, you gotta wait and fire off on turn 3 before you play a land and hope to draw into the Reliquary Tower. Finally, last note on the deck, I think there are some upgrades that can be made. Because the deck is all lands, we really want to just play as many good lands as possible, so if budget is not a concern, and again, part of my goal with this deck was to have it be as literal cheap as possible. 0 mythics, 0 rares, very few uncommons, because I wanted everyone to be able to build it and check it out and experience the insanity of Zombie Hunt in Historic on Magic Arena. But Watery Grave would be great in the deck, being a dual land that also works with Mystic Sanctuary. Blast Zone would be great in the deck. You can throw in essentially any utility lands, as long as you make sure you got enough blue and black mana, which is pretty easy to do. You could throw in essentially whatever utility lands you want, and they're probably going to be pretty decent in the deck. The only thing I would say is I do think that Mystic Sanctuary is really important, because as we talked about, what beats this deck? Getting unlucky, but mostly Thoughtseize, and then secondarily counter spells, stopping our first treasure hunt, and then we just do nothing forever until we draw another one. So Mystic Sanctuary is really important protection, so you do need a critical mass of islands to turn on Mystic Sanctuary. That's a really important part of the deck, so don't just like take out all the islands to play a bunch of random creature lands and so forth, even though creature lands would be good, but instead cut the other utility lands. Make sure you keep enough islands to turn on Mystic Sanctuary to get around the Thoughtseizes and win the game. Anyway, that has been Zombie Hunt for Historic. That's been our budget magic for this week. A little 2-for-1 action, best of 3, best of 1. I hope you enjoyed it, and as I said in the intro, don't make Zombie Hunt your primary Historic deck. I wouldn't put this deck together and expect to rank up to Mythic. On the other hand, as we saw, especially in best of 1, you can win a lot of games with it. Maybe even win more than you lose in best of 1 with the deck, because it lines up really well with how that format works. So I do think it's a deck that everyone should have, is just a secondary fun deck. You can jump on for 10 minutes, do some janky Zombie Hunt things. It is probably essentially free for you to put together. Maybe you got to spend a few common wildcards on Treasure Hunt or something if you don't have it already, but really you should have most of these cards in your collection. You don't have to spend hardly any wildcards, so throw it together, have fun with it, experience the ridiculousness of Zombie Hunt in the Historic format. Thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.